when it comes to this next fight that you have, it's for the title.
Now this one is a lot different. There's a lot more on the line, you know. I just lost the Muay Thai belt, which is unfortunate, but I still have the kickboxing belt. So to defend this now is the main priority. You know, I need to keep this belt, stay on top.
Welcome back to Combat Corner. I'm your host, Samuel Ericsson, and I'm here today with the Kickboxing World Champion and the former Muay Thai World Champion, Jonathan "The General" Haggerty.
Thank you for having
Really
me.
nice to meet you.
Pleasure.
Thank you so much for being
Thank
here.
you.
We have been following each other on socials for a few years. At least I have followed you. I don't remember our first conversation, but I guess it was like I commented on something. I think you're a beast or whatever. Congratulations. I mean, there is so much to say about you as a martial artist, but also as your career as a fighter. You have a title fight coming up now. You know, let's just do this classic one. You just take a few sentences and just introduce yourself for the audience that might not know you.
Cool, so I'm Jonathan Haggerty. I'm the former Muay Thai World Champion for ONE Championship, and I'm also the Kickboxing World Champion. Been training since I was about 7, so all my life really. My dad got me into it. Ever since then, I pursued it. I didn't know how far I would go in the sport. With Thai boxing not being so high profile, obviously took it because I loved it, and then obviously it's excelled, and we're here now as the champ for ONE Championship, and I'm very grateful for the opportunities that have come my way.
I mean, you said something there because Muay Thai was not as, I would say, as big, as, you know, not as commercial as the other, I mean, maybe as boxing and MMA have turned out to be. I mean, it's on their way up now, I would say. There is a big difference in your fights when it comes to the Muay Thai as well, because you've done Muay Thai with boxing gloves, which is, for those who don't know, that is the most like common Muay Thai, I would say. It's 10 ounce, right? But you also do Muay Thai with the MMA gloves.
Crazy.
4 ounce.
Crazy.
How, like, when did you decide, or was it someone else that took that decision for you, or did you decide that I want to try this, or, you know, I want to upgrade my style to try this? Or
So ONE Championship wasn't really about back in the day. So it was traditional Muay Thai, 8 ounce gloves, as we say, boxing gloves. And then as I started going through the ranks, I started beating everybody, started knocking people out, and I started to get noticed. And I think it's when I fought Superlek for the first time. ONE Championship come knocking. I remember one day I messaged ONE Championship saying one day I would love to be a part of your show. I think that might have been in like 2016, 2017. And then after the Superlek first fight, my coach Christian Knowles got a message from ONE Championship saying we'd like Jonathan Haggerty to compete on ONE. So then we just grabbed it with both hands. We said, yeah, let's do it. This is the pinnacle of Muay Thai. Went there, and then we knew it was 4 ounce gloves. It was a bit of a difference to boxing gloves, but my boxing is my strongest attribute, or one of my strongest attributes. So I thought it might work in my favour, and it's very enjoyable. As crazy as it sounds, 4 ounce gloves is great to fight in.
I have never competed in Muay Thai, but I have many friends that do, and they say if you go to Thailand, for example, and just do like this classical Thai boxing, if you have good boxing in Thailand and fighting a like classical Muay Thai fighter, you have a great edge.
Yeah,
Is that something that you would agree with?
Yeah, 100%, you know. So that's how the Westerners now are sort of overcoming the Thais with the boxing. We're using the boxing skills. We've got our strength and conditioning. But now they've started to realise, the Thais have started to realise that they need to compete with us. So they're doing their boxing training as well also. And also with their strength and conditioning. Because old school Thai boxing training, skipping, on the tyre, pads, running, just running. No strength really, like body weight. Pull-ups,
just grinding all the time.
Pull-ups, press-ups. Still working, but obviously now there's a lot more like for training.
It's like more purpose behind, like more knowledge and reason why you do certain things.
100%.
Yeah.
So there's a little bit more like knowledge, like you said, behind it. So
no, it's the same. Like my foundation is Taekwondo, and I remember like everyone always told us to do all these typical things like run, jump, and do all this stuff. But Now, when I look at not only taekwondo athletes, but athletes in general, bench press, squats, you know, they implement so much more in the training, which I would say me growing up, people kind of said, like, if you do weightlifting and taekwondo at the same time, it's not good.
Yeah, yeah.
But it all depends on how you use it and how you
100%.
train, right? So when it comes to like the kickboxing part, when is that something that also came about because of ONE Championship asked you, or was it something that you did simultaneously with the Muay Thai, or how?
So
did you...
if I'm honest, kickboxing was my first competition fight. You know, my dad took me to a competition in Crystal Palace. Obviously, the people on my side will know Crystal Palace. Crystal Palace, and it was a semi-light contact fight. And I got in there, I got disqualified.
Oh, really?
Got disqualified for hitting a little bit too hard. And then,
yeah, because it was points only.
And it was like light contact.
Not light contact, okay.
And I didn't really enjoy that, getting disqualified. I was upset, I was heartbroken. I thought I let everybody down at such a young age. But then from then onwards, I thought, nah, that's not for me. So went to the gym, went to Thai boxing, and then just fell in love with Thai boxing, really.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's cool. I mean, Muay Thai has... same for like I said, growing up with the taekwondo, Muay Thai was not around when I started with taekwondo, for example. It was well, it was, but it was not as, you know, I would say people talk more about, you know, karate at the time, because I started when I was so young as well. When obviously you had amateur fights as well, I guess, in the UK.
Yep.
When did you start compete in Muay Thai?
10 or 11, and then no win, no loss, and then after that, I think about 12, I started going to decision fights, and then
was that full contact then? Was it the same type of setup?
Yeah, so sort of with shin pads, head guard.
Okay, but you could win. And
you could win.
Yeah,
so that was the only difference. You could win. You started getting on bigger shows. Okay. And then I think I started fighting on John Jarvis's show. So this guy is obviously, he plays a big part in my career. I started on his shows. He built me up on his shows. Started going from C class. Obviously, that's with no shin guards now. And that's no knees to the head. Yeah. And then from then I had 2 C class fights, then went straight to B class.
Yeah, which is with the elbows?
No elbows. It's knees to the head.
Knees to the head.
So you're allowed to knee to the head. So I think I had about three fights then, and then I went straight to A class. Okay. So A class is the art of 8 limbs. You can use your elbows. Knees. Professional, really. Okay. And I think before I had to lie about my age just to be able to fight A
18?
class. I think I was about 16, saying I was
18 was the limit.
Yeah, but I was 16.
Imagine. Okay.
So
how did that? Like,
yeah, it was
good. Did you
good.
do like a fake ID? Because usually.
No, not really. No, didn't.
You just said. I'm 18.
Just said yeah.
Okay.
And then got the win, and then from them onwards, A class was sort of. Cool. I just knew because I loved elbows. So,
yeah. You know, looking at your fights, that is something that I totally understand. You had a lot of these fights at an early stage of your career. So to speak. And after your 18th, 16th, 17th, 18th, when you did the A class, when did you decide to go, I'm gonna be a professional. This is my job. This is gonna be my job. When was that?
So did
you have like a moment where you just, this is it? Or did you just kept on going and then everything just fell into place? Or
yeah, a little bit like that. Everything fell into place. But I was at college at this stage. I was training to be a plumber.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I've got my level 2 as a plumber.
Okay.
So if fighting don't work, I'm straight back to plumbing.
Okay.
But plumbing was obviously the route to go down. Wanted a trade. My dad told me always get a trade behind yourself. And then it just started flowing. I started beating everyone in the number 1. So I started beating the number 1. He was number 1 for 10 years. Ended up beating him. And then it just fell in love with it. And I just thought to myself, this is... Well, everything just fits. Yeah, I'm basically good. Cool. It's fitting into place. Yeah, I'm enjoying it. It's good for the body, good for the mind. Yeah, keeps me humble, level-headed. Yep. And my dad had a gym as well himself, so I was always down there. I wasn't on the streets like a lot of people that I used to hang around with was. And so yeah, I just enjoyed it, and it just played a massive part in my life.
Yeah. You mentioned to me that your dad has a gym. He still has it.
Yep.
And he's still active as a coach, or
yep.
So how? Yeah, I guess you started with your dad. And of course we're gonna talk about your brother later also. Very talented fighter, young. Very bright future, it seems, if he keeps going and there is no injuries. But when it comes to your dad's gym, was that the only, like, is that where you would say all your skills or all your experience up until when, like when you started pro, or have you just, is your biggest experience from your dad's gym before you went,
I mean,
full professional?
Yeah, I'd say watching everyone in my dad's gym as a young age, I was training with all the adults. And then I went to Keddle's gym, Alan Keddle. I went and trained with Alan Keddle. And then from then, my dad got in contact with Christian Knowles, my main coach now, and said, will you be able to train my son? My dad liked the way Christian and Lyndon train. They're two brothers.
Okay. Yeah, Christian is the big guy, right?
Yeah.
Maybe both are big.
Yeah.
Okay.
Heavyweights.
Heavyweight, yeah.
My dad sort of liked the way they train, the way they put their heart into it. So my dad sort of said, can my son come down and train? They said, of course, welcome you with open arms.
Yep.
And then from that first session with Christian Knowles, my dad and I just knew, like, we just gelled well. And then up until now, like, I'd say probably the best duo in Thai boxing at the moment, coach-wise and fighter-wise. So we get on like a house on fire. Christian's like my family, my dad now. My second dad looks out for me and guides my fight career. So I'm very thankful for that.
Yeah, I mean, looking at your content and, when I see him around you in your content as well, it feels very... You feel very, very safe.
Yeah,
it feels like he very cares and you care about him. And that is a beautiful bond to have with your coach. I mean, that is nothing you can take for granted, even if you have coaches and friends. I mean, it's very special to find, that one coach that really backs you up and supports you in every step of the way.
Yeah, 100%. Some people go from coach to coach to coach. Yeah. They have one loss and they think it's down to the coach.
Yes.
And they want to move and it's just all broken at that point. Yeah. If you lose, you're meant to work on it and focus on why you lost. Yeah. And then you both come together. It makes you stronger as a team. So that's my take on it.
You never had any thought of this? Like, I mean, not leaving him, but I mean, have you ever thought that, okay, shit, this happened, we might need to kind of really switch things up here, or everything in-house?
Everything's just, we just work on it. If something doesn't go to plan, because life, nothing always goes to plan, nothing's perfect, nothing's smooth. Right. So we just get back to the drawing board and we fix it as the best way as we can, and we just make sure we don't make that mistake again. Yeah. And we're good at doing that, we've shown time and time again. Yeah, exactly. So it works.
Yeah. I mentioned your brother earlier. Let's just put him in here real quick. It's is he coming from the same type of experience that you had from early amateur going into different levels of competing from your dad's gym, or is he also with Christian from an early stage in his career, or because you are, or is he still with your dad, or how does?
So with my little brother, he's had a lot more experience than me in the amateur wise. He's grown up with a team around him, like his mates around him that have trained in the gym. Okay. And they all gel well and spar together really well. Yeah. Which I really never had that. I was always on my own, never done any sparring with sort of some type of form. So I was private sessions. Okay. But he's had a team around him that trains and spars with him. And my dad looks after him. My dad trains him. They train really well together. He's going to be great. The plan is, I'm very thankful I got to where I was. So now it's up to him to surpass that, and he's got like a stepping stone to just get past that now. Yeah, and
I saw his last fight. If you haven't seen that, go check him out. Yeah, is it Frederick or Freddie?
Freddie Haggerty.
Freddie Haggerty. Go check his last fight out. It was 3 weeks ago only.
Yeah, 3 weeks.
And he has his next fight is next week.
His next fight is in 2 weeks' time.
2 weeks' time. Yeah.
So he's out in Thailand now as we speak.
Yeah. Are you going tomorrow?
Yeah, I'm going tomorrow to join him to finish off my fight camp. Nice. But he's going to be better than me, and that is the plan, to make him be the next champ. He calls himself the future.
What do you say? He's 19?
19.
Super, that's crazy. I mean, that's one thing I really like with ONE, actually. They have many, very, very young talents that you just see, and that if these guys can stay on the path and then just stay dedicated and, no injuries. Yeah. And all of that, you just know these guys are gonna be absolute stars in a few years.
There's some killers on there. Not a lot of people will know these fighters. No,
exactly.
There's so many fighters under the radar on ONE Championship, on that ONE Lumpini. Yeah. I remember going to the show when Rotang fought Superlek, and I was ringside.
Yeah.
That whole show was just like mind blowing. It's the best show I've ever been to. There was teeth flying everywhere, blood broken.
Yeah.
It sounds a bit brutal, but it was very enjoyable. Like I said, there's a lot of fighters that are under the radar that you never know of.
No.
And they're just like,
and then they just show up
amazing.
and then just
they're amazing.
Blows the world, the world stage.
All they need is that stepping stone to get to the global stage, and then they're superstars.
Yeah.
And that's what ONE Championship is very good at, making unknown fighters, which I was back then, become stars and pursue their dreams. So
let's talk about that, because we're talking about, we mentioned Superlek and Rotang. These are 2 fights. I mean, again, if you haven't seen them, but you have seen them. Like every time I told you.
Just don't watch the last one.
I mean, they can watch the other 2s. But these, especially these 2 fights.
Yeah.
They must have been like for your stock and your name, like your fame that you now have, and which you have deserved.
Thank you.
You're well deserved. You have done so many legendary fights.
Thank you, bro.
But these 2 fights are probably, would you say they are big reasons why you are where you are today?
Yeah, I'd say so. I'm a massive believer of take risks and prosper. So when I got offered the Rotang fight, everybody was scared of him. Nobody wanted to fight him. And I'd say I learnt more from these losses than I did from any win.
Yeah.
Even though I lost, it excelled me to another level.
Yeah.
So I'm very thankful for that. It put my stock up.
Yeah.
And I wasn't in there to make the numbers up as well. I was actually in there to get in there and be the best and beat these people. I think I was very close the first fight with Rotang.
Yes.
Very close. I still look back at it now and it's damn. But it is what it is, and it's character building for me.
Yeah, of course.
It makes me who I am.
Are you the same age? I think
As
so.
Rotang.
Is he also
I'd
born
say,
97, right?
I think so, yeah. I think we're all around the same age.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was just like when I can still, because ONE Championship are so good at like reposting old content, like they call it, from the archives or something. Yeah. But every time there is a video from that fight or any one of the, I always stay to watch it.
Really?
It's just as a martial artist, and I've been training for over 20 years. I haven't been fighting for so long. I'm not on the level like that you guys are.
I've seen your training, mate. It's pretty brutal.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
It's good, mate. It's amazing what you're doing.
But as a martial artist that I've done fights.
Yep.
I've done fight camps. I've done all of this. I've done media. I've done on big shows. It's just you gotta stay, and I gotta watch it again, and I gotta just you get a feeling. It's not. I get a feeling of like, even if it's not me, or maybe we don't know each other, that you feel proud. Like when you watch it, you feel like, bro, these guys are just. I'm so It's just so. It's amazing to watch. It's truly art. Like that's why I think that's why we always also, when you talk about fighting, I never talk about my own fights. Like I don't talk about my own training that much, because I get most of my motivation and like inspiration to my training and to keep training and taking a new fight. I look at the environment around me. What is happening at ONE? What is happening in UFC? And like I said, I'm not fighting in ONE. I will never fight in the UFC. I will never. But it's like impressions. That make
very influential.
me. Yeah, exactly. I'm influenced, and from that I get inspired to maybe keep on going from what I already decided to do, or maybe I just see something that is like, now I'm gonna switch it up, or now I'm gonna do something else. When it comes to this next fight that you have. It's for the title.
Defending this one here.
Yes. How do you prepare? I mean, the typical thing. You cut weight. You do the diet. You do crazy workouts. But if you would put it in your own words, because you've done this so many times, what is different this time? How will you defend it this time? Do you have, or do you just copy paste?
So this time around, it's a lot different. Every fight camp I train hard, the best of my ability. The last fight camp I had against Superlek was 13 weeks. I went to Denver for a month to climb the mountains, run up the mountains. Everything I could do to get the fittest, I was doing. Now this one is a lot different. There's a lot more on the line, I just lost the Muay Thai belt, which is unfortunate, but I still have the kickboxing belt. So to defend this now is main priority. I need to keep this belt to stay on top.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of pressure. I'll be honest, there's a lot of pressure on this one.
Yeah.
For the likes of, the social media. If I lose this
course.
belt now, everyone's going to say it was a one-hit wonder. So I'm doing the best that I can, everything I can to keep this belt.
Yeah.
Obviously, I'm fighting against the Chinese #1 in
Yes.
the division. Great opponent. We're not looking past him.
No.
He's a southpaw as well, which I like to fight against southpaws. I'm excited for this one. I just want to come out there, put on a great show.
Yeah.
The show that I didn't put on in Denver against Superlek because
Yeah.
I didn't get the chance to. So Qatar, February the 20th.
Yeah.
It's going to be a good one.
I'm so excited for
Thank
it.
you, bro.
I would like to ask you a few questions about the last fight,
Sure.
which I watched live. In your own words, again, what would you say? Like, what happened? Because, I will let you respond first, and then I might have another question for it.
I think I beat myself. I went in there too eager.
Yeah.
I thought I hurt him, and then didn't really stick to the game plan. I went in there for the kill.
Yeah.
Which is normal when you hurt someone. Natural instinct is to go for it.
Yeah.
But obviously with Superlek, he's well skilled. He's seen every style
Yeah.
that there is, and I should have been a little bit more wary.
Yeah.
Stuck to the game plan. Maybe, knocked myself out on the elbow. It's a little bit harsh to say because it was a great shot from him.
Yeah.
If I was to do things differently, I would control the distance a little bit better. And
Been a more patient with the.
Yeah. I mean, I was so ready. I was so ready for that fight. I think the fittest I've ever been.
Yeah.
And the most devastating thing is that I didn't get to come out of the first round and show that all that hard work that I put in that camp.
Yes.
It was just devastating. And
Understand.
I just knew if I was to get him in the second round to the third round to the fourth round,
you had so much.
I had every single gear to go through in me, but. It is what it is.
Of course.
And I've lost before. I've lost the belt before.
Yeah.
And that's why I feel like I took this loss quite well. Because when I lost against Rotang, lost the title, I took it quite hard. And I was a little bit hard on myself. And I was a bit down in the dumps for weeks, months.
Oh, really?
And then, so this one, lost the belt, obviously. But then I told myself, I've lost it before. And I know how to get it back, what it takes to get it back. And that's what we're doing. And 2025 is the road to the Muay Thai World title again.
Yeah, no, it's really nice to hear you talk about it because, like you say, you learn so much from a loss.
Yeah.
Of course, you learn from a win, but not you don't go to the same place after a win like you do after a loss.
Exactly.
Obviously. Regarding that, the last fight with Superlek, did you just because I'm not there, I know exactly how much different it is to sit ringside, for example, or in the audience, and then you feel the hits, you see it in a different way. But from home, like from the angle when, like, was it? Because first it didn't look like you. I thought you were gonna go up. That. No, that's fine. He's staying. He's letting him count, and then. But how, like, what? I don't know how to say this. Was that like a devastating shot for you, or was it impossible to continue at that point?
So with that shot, a lot of people were saying sort of I could have got up and this and that, but I've been hit in the face before.
Yeah,
you've seen my fights.
I've
had some real scraps. I've been hit in the face, the shutters come down for a second, and then I'm back in the ring. I'm on my feet still.
Yes.
But with this one, I think where I came in so hard.
Yeah, it was like a collision.
It was a collision.
Yeah.
And he just stuck his elbow up, and it wasn't like he hit me in the front of my face. Because if he would have hit me in the front of the face, like I said, I've been elbowed.
It would probably just been
broke
a cut.
my nose, this and that, and I would have carried on.
Yeah.
It was on the side of the temple.
Yeah.
I mean, I couldn't really eat or open my mouth for the next 3 weeks.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Because it was just right on the temple.
Yeah.
So normally it's a 1 second flash, boom, back,
and then
back in the room.
Yeah.
This one, it was the shutters come down a little bit longer than I expected.
Yeah.
And then when the shutters opened, I was on the floor.
Yeah.
On the floor, I was thinking, to get up. He's counted to 8. I think a lot of people told me he counted to 8, and then he just called it off. I think the ref, he sees something in my eyes.
Yeah.
He's there to protect me.
Exact. I was just gonna say that.
Although I would have just been like, oh, why'd you stop it? Stop it? Because you just never know. He could have came out. He could just one more shot.
And then you're out for months. Yeah.
You never know. So I'm thankful for the ref. He's in there to help me. He's in there for a reason.
Yes.
That he the best refs that they can be. So we're in good hands. So whatever he says goes, and respect him for it.
Yeah, I had a exactly like the similar one with my Misfits fight against Anthony Taylor when I was fighting for the light heavyweight title with him. Obviously, it was much bigger, but I got a count when it was like, I don't remember. I think it was 20 seconds left of the second round.
Yeah.
And he hit me like here. It wasn't a hard shot, but I fall down. I take a knee. And I was like, shit, I'm dizzy as, you know. And then I come up and they, hey, can you continue? I said, yes, of course he can continue. Because it wasn't like that. And then, obviously, since he got a count, he goes straight in, doom, doom, doom. I end up in the corner of the ropes.
Yeah, yeah.
I think he'd do like uppercut, cross, uppercut, cross.
Yeah, yeah.
And like the two last one really, like they hit me. Even if I have my guard up, I fall down again. And
balance. Like you can lose balance. From it getting hit from in the back of the head or the temple is balance.
Yeah, and now my nose is busted. So I'm on the ropes. Like this.
Yeah, yeah.
And she's counting 7, 8. Can you continue? And I'm on the rope, and I do like this.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And then she says, walk forward.
Yeah.
And then I'll take like, I think I do like this. And then I bounce off the ropes. And she's like, no.
Yeah,
I was like, what? I say, why?
They wanted it immediate.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then I asked her after he was announced the winner, I say, why did you stop? Because I wasn't. She said exactly like you said. She said, when I say walk forward, I don't want to breathe like a breath.
Yeah,
I don't want you to bounce off. I want you to come forward. You start walking the same. Yeah. And I also think after this, maybe let's say I would, because this was only like 5 seconds left, because he got me, maybe in the second round he would get a super clean knockout because I was still affected by it, and then I would be out for 6 months.
Exactly.
You never know.
So they're there to help you.
Yeah, exactly. They are not there to ruin anything for you. They look after you. Nice. So back again to this for this title defense.
Yep.
Do you think, if I'm gonna reverse my question, what do you think that your opponent think? How do you think what will he try to do to get the title? If you would look at yourself from the outside and just think, what would any opponent against me think that he would be able to do to me?
If I'm honest, I think a lot of people are thinking now that I'm not done, because I'm far from it, nowhere near. Saying, has he got the determination? Has he got the hunger there?
Do they mean like after, because you already had the titles before?
Yeah, I've had it all. I've been there.
Okay.
Been there from like, I had the world title in 2019.
Yeah.
I've experienced it.
Yeah.
So they're probably thinking, am I hungry enough for this?
Are you?
He's 100%.
Yeah.
1,000,000%.
I can
100%. So he's probably gonna try to come out for the knockout, which is gonna play a massive favourite into my hands. So we just have to wait and see for this one. I'm excited.
Yeah.
All the hard work I put in the Superlet camp, not just the camp, but my whole life, will show on 20th of February. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's amazing. I wanted to touch a little bit also about you going to Thailand a lot.
Yeah.
Because we talked before this also, and you said, you've been there so much. And we have a thing, like, there are so many people from Sweden, where I'm from.
Yeah.
They travel to Thailand, they stay there for 3 months, 6 months, 12 months. And if you're serious, if they have been serious, living in Thailand, training every day, doing some fights, they just come back as a different human being. Yeah. It's just crazy. I understand that all the circumstances in Thailand are there to become a good fighter.
Yeah.
But do you think everyone can become a good fighter?
I mean, hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work. That's the saying. With me, I never agreed with everyone going to Thailand. Not didn't agree, but I just never see the side of everybody going to Thailand to train. So I always done my fight camps in the UK. I told myself I had the best coach that there is, Christian Knowles, in good hands. So I just recently done a 9-month stint in Thailand, and that was when I captured both the belts, the kickboxing and the Muay Thai. I beat Nongo, and I also beat Andrade. So I went to Thailand for 9 months. I trained out in Thailand. Now, I was thinking to myself, why do I even train in the UK? You've got the lovely weather. You're surrounded by it. Now in Thailand, there's all like health clubs. There's all like, they're building like health
It's different now
It's different now. Everybody wants to go there to get fit. It's like a retreat.
Yeah.
And I'm literally 5 minutes away from the gym. And also, if my coach flies out with me, which I'm very thankful for.
Yeah. So
we're both in it together. We're living, we're breathing the sport, Muay Thai. We're around the environment. it's a lot better than being in the London, in the UK, if I'm honest, training wise.
Yeah.
So I can see why people do go to Thailand. But if you go to Thailand, you still got to put in that hard work. Not just because you're in Thailand doesn't mean because you're doing a session with a Thai trainer or something, you're going to be the best. You need to still have that grit. You need to still be the best person that you can be. Yeah. And I do advise to go to Thailand for a stint. And I went for 9 months. Yeah. And probably the best thing I've ever done. Yeah. So, yeah.
I think I've never done a fight camp like that. Mm-hmm. I think I've thought about it. But then since, like I told you, I said to my friend the other day when I said I was supposed to interview you, and you went to training, and then you said I need to go to sleep early because I'm going out running the next day. And he's like, what? And I said, no, bro, this guy is a champion. He's a real fighter. Not, I was putting myself out there a little bit. No, but because I feel myself, why I asked about the Thailand, like the whole thing about Thailand is because I wanted to do that when I was a little bit younger. I'm a little bit older than you now, and like everyone knows, I never really pursued the professional career of a fighter. I've done a few amateur fights, I've done a few pro fights. I'll probably do a few more, but I don't have any specific goal when it comes to rankings or belts or anything like that. I do it because I challenge myself, and I think it's a good opportunity.
I mean, also a part of you must love it.
Yeah, of course. I love like when everything is set, like you're gonna fight this guy, this date here. Then I'll just go.
Then you're in your training mode.
Then I'll just go into this this bubble.
Yeah.
And that of course I enjoy. It's just that I've never, how can I say, enjoyed it much enough.
Yeah. To pursue it.
Or I just had, I don't know. I think I started like my first, real full contact fight was 2017. Yeah. Just before I started with social media and stuff. And so 2017 I was 23, 24 years old. So I'm not gonna say I was old, but I never. I think for pursuing a professional career in fighting, I would probably have to decided that earlier. Yeah. Now it's just come with the like a little bit with the social media, with the attention, with the
you just fell into what you want to do.
Exactly. Yeah. But I always wonder sometimes how good I could be if I would travel to Thailand, for example, 3 months, 6 months, even still at this age, how much I would.
You never know until you try it.
Exactly.
Go for it.
So I might maybe I'll sync it with you.
Yeah,
sometime.
I'm there, mate. Whenever.
Yeah, because I've never done it. I was in Thailand back in 2018, 1 month, and I was like, I'm gonna train, but I was there with people that like to party. So I was there. I did, I think, 4 sessions with a personal trainer. I think I was drunk or hangover all the sessions because I was just, it was not serious. So let's see if because I think that would be interesting, and then we could document it and stuff. Let's see.
With me, I mean, I call it. So when I go into fight camp, I say I go into hibernation. I take myself out of every scenario, put myself in a bubble, like you said, and proper get nitty gritty with it, and live the lifestyle of a fighter. Yeah. And if you want to be a fighter, I mean, it's going to get hard sometimes. It's going to be difficult. It's going to be some ups. It's going to be some downs. Yeah. You just need to stick at it, and if you want to be at the top and the best, you just gotta
do what it takes.
You gotta do what it takes. Yeah, you know what I mean. In it or you're not.
Exactly. I mean, do you get sometimes people that are just like, I mean, because when you walk around with this belt, you just people are just, he's the champion. But sometimes people, do they discredit you for all the hard, like, because you've done this for all your life, and now they just, he's the champion. I mean, people don't see the hard work, all the years, all the grind, all the injuries, all the battles mentally, but also I don't know your financial position, but a lot of my friends that pursue a professional career, in the early stages, bro, it's hard. It's hard.
It's very tough. But like you said, it's not really for them to see that all that sort of stuff. They're not going to see it. They haven't seen it. No. All they're going to see is the belt. Yeah. They don't see what it takes to be the champ. And I'm fine with that. As long as I stay in my path and my lane, carry on being the best person I can be, and stand the champion.
Yeah.
That's the best person that I could be. The champion that I am.
100%.
100%.
I think you mentioned also you're gonna release a website.
Yep.
Is this something that we can?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, because you said it's gonna launch soon, and I think you could just talk. I mean, you mentioned to me.
Yep.
Just very quick, but
Thank
maybe
you.
you can do some.
Yeah, so I'll be bringing out my own website. Obviously, there'll be some tutorials, subscriptions. You can tune into fight camp, deep in depth of what I eat and the day in the life in a fight camp, really.
Nice.
So people can be in fight camp with me, basically. They want to see the ins, the outs. They don't want to see... So on Instagram, they see the best pad flow.
Yes, of course.
They don't see when I'm on the floor and I've got to do 100 kicks and I'm tired.
Yeah.
And I can't really get through it, but I do. And it's hard and I've got my coach pushing me.
Yeah.
You're going to see the raw footage, that sort of stuff. So I think it's great to give the audience and the people that have been following me for years a little bit of insight of what it takes.
Yeah.
So obviously have the belt.
Yeah.
And the sacrifices. So, that'll be coming out in the next 3 weeks or so. So I'm very excited for that.
So I think that is such a nice investment of you.
Yep.
Not only that you get probably more eyes and more reach, and people that really follows you can get some understanding, but also prepare themselves for this is like the world champion.
Exactly.
This is what you need to do. You can't not just, like we said, you cannot just sit around doing things half-ass and then you expect to become a world champion. But at the same time, I hope you will get some great financial outcome of it as well. So, okay. And it will be is it going to be Haggerty.com or like the general?
Haggerty's Academy.
Haggerty's Academy.
Yeah.
It sounds nice.
So,
yeah, it sounds very...
The main plan is to open up a few franchise gyms, Haggerty Academy.
Oh, really? Nice.
So, in the long run. So, hopefully...
Will your father be involved with this?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah?
He'll always be involved. He's a great coach. He's been coaching since... He's coached me from the get-go. So, he's a great coach. He's also bred world champions from the gym. So from young ages, he's bred world champions, British champions. So he knows what it takes, and he's probably one of the best coaches out there. So having him on my team, you can't go wrong.
It's amazing that you also have your brother. I mean, that must be such a. I mean, I don't know how to, having
beside me,
it must be so. But I don't know the English word for it.
I mean, it makes me want to push more.
Yeah.
To show him.
Yeah,
so if I'm in the ring training, which I'm going to
exactly.
be next week, I want to show him you can't give up in this.
Exactly.
What it takes to be a champion, like what we've just been explaining.
And then your brother comes and he has. I'm not going to say
Exactly.
a chip on his shoulder, obviously not. But I mean, he wants
I
to
tell him
achieve,
sometimes, you got to be level-headed in there. Otherwise, you're not going to be liked. You need to do your fighting, do your talking in the ring.
Yeah.
That's the main thing.
Yeah. Cool. I mean, there are so many there are so many questions, right? But we could sit here for 3 hours. I would like to ask some like really basic questions because I think for the audience, people think this is interesting, and it comes to the nutrition. I just wonder, what is your when you diet?
Yep.
During a fight camp, what does that look like for you? Because it's so personal for everyone.
So back when I used to fight at 61 kilo, I never had a nutritionist. I was doing it all myself. The first fight of Rotang, the first fight was Superlek.
Oh, you did that yourself?
Done it all myself. My mum used to cook it for me. Oh. So obviously Mia and her worked together, and she used to cook it. And it was so basic because I had to get down to such a low weight.
Yeah, what's your now? You're like 72 now.
Now I'm about 72, 70.
Shit.
So
and you're like you are super hard now, bro.
Yeah, so imagine
I can't even see you.
Imagine me at 61 kilo. Like I literally had to cut off a leg.
Yeah,
it was so hard. I was eating. I was actually after training. I would train at 11 in the morning. I would go home and I would have to make myself go to sleep. Well, I would go to sleep
because otherwise you would be
I'm
hungry.
so hungry.
Oh shit! Yeah.
So I was sleeping to get away the hunger pains and then wake up and train again.
Shit.
So now, obviously, I've parted teams with Condition Nutrition. Pete looks after me quite well.
Yep.
He does all my meal plans for me. He does it for my little brother as well and a lot of other athletes in ONE Championship.
Nice.
He's got his own app.
Oh, so you
tell him what you like.
Okay, and then you
tell him your weight. Tell him your weight. Tell him what weight you need to be, but he knows the ins and outs of me now because I've worked with him for about 3 years now. So he's basically in control. So whatever he says goes.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And it's worked so far.
Yeah, for sure. So
cool. I mean, that is such an important thing. You know, I don't say everyone has a nutritionist, but like how how are you gonna set up the nutrition so it fits your schedule with the training and for your body type and for your, the period of time you need to lose weight. It's hard because
plays a big part in your fighting career.
Yeah, I've actually done it myself as well. I try to ask some friends maybe sometimes, that works with it, but I mainly do it myself as well. But I always, the thing that I've done that I feel that my body reacts to very good when it comes to weight loss, and I don't feel so affected when it comes to my daily.
Yeah.
Is low carb, high fat, like low carb, high fat.
Yeah.
I can't do it. If I do it now, I would be super hungry. But it's just when I go into that bubble, it's just that I'm okay with it. It's just that I accept
in your zone,
things. Yeah, exactly.
Straight in your zone.
Yeah, I just accept things much more because I know it's part of the process and this is what I need to do for the next 8, 10, 12 weeks. But for me, I would say I remember the first time when I fought in karate combat because I fight in 68, and for me 68, I'm 82 now, but 68 for me is it's super hard.
Really?
So I had to do this, I had to go to the bath, and then I had to do the what you call it, not towels.
Yep.
When sheets.
Yeah.
And then back to the bath. Bath or bath? Oh, I said bath. Is that
like I say bath.
Yeah. I go to the bath.
I'm rubbing off on you.
I go to the bath and then I go back to the sheets.
Yeah. Awful.
And that was like the first time I did it like this. And I was just, bro, how do people... That was 1 hour. I did 15 minutes.
You could lose at least 5 to 6. Some people lose 8 kilo in that bath.
Yeah, I lost, in 12 hours, because I did it for 1 hour, 15 minutes, 15 minutes, 15 minutes, 15 minutes, 2 bath and 2 sheets. And then I slept with pants and t-shirt and didn't drink. Yeah. So when I woke up, it was like about 12 hours from it was almost 2 kilos. Yeah. Just only, and it was super hard because it was the first time. But I've seen you drop a lot of weight, in water. How much do you drop the last week?
With ONE Championship, you're not really allowed to cut the water. They do a hydration. Okay. They do hydration tests. Okay. Which is great. So I do it gradually. I do it through hard work, training, and diet.
Just grinding it out.
And in the last week or so, then you can start cutting back your carbs, and then obviously that's when my nutritionist comes in. Comes fight
for
week
the timing and really
exactly. So ONE Championship don't really allow you to cut no water. Okay. Because you have to, before you get on the scales, you need to do a piss test.
And if you can't piss?
So if you can't piss, you can't get on the scales. So if you
they make you drink then? So
they make you drink, and then somehow you got to exercise it off or something like that. But if you go to the table and you give them your sample and they test it, it's dehydrated, you can't get on the scales.
Oh, really?
So you just got to keep drinking water, which I think is the correct way. It's healthy,
Yeah.
So,
maybe I need to work on to stay in shape.
That's it. Jump on board.
Yeah. Oh, no. So okay. So you mainly just...
Hard work
all the way, and then you not show up on weight, but last week you're almost on weight.
Yeah, and then you just cut the carbs back, and then just starts
the salt
off.
And stuff like that. Okay, yeah, I didn't know that, but I mean, it's not a bad thing. Because
so it makes people fight at their natural weight.
Exactly,
because some people come from 10 kilo.
Yes,
they cut 10 kilo, and then they get in the ring.
Yeah,
they think it's an advantage, but with me, I don't think it's an advantage because it will catch up on you in round 3, 4, and 5. The more you cut weight, because I used to do it when I used to get 61 kilo. Yeah, get me out the 3rd round or the 2nd round, and I'll be depleted. Yeah, like the fights with Rotang, if you watch him, I don't know how I stood in there with him, but depleted, fatigued. So I think it's very beneficial.
It affects your body so much, like your organs, how everything, how you receive a hit,
100%.
Like how much your body can take, your head as well.
Exactly.
I mean, your brain also has.
Like I was getting jabbed at 61 kilo, and I was getting blacked out.
Yeah, exactly.
Because dehydrated, it just wasn't good. So the plan to move to bantamweight was probably one of the best decisions of my life.
Yeah, because now, is it hard or is it? It's still hard, but
it's hard because obviously I put the hard work in and the diet, but. It's all worth it. It's not as hard as 61.
No, because then you were really killing.
I was, Took me about 3 minutes to get out of bed. So if I was to get out of bed, I had to take myself 3 minutes. Otherwise, I'll pull something.
Oh, you were
That's how bad it was. And still to this day, my dad thinks I can make that weight again.
Oh shit, Dad.
I'm like, Dad, nah, man, can't do
No.
it.
It's because now it's 65.8. We figured that out. Yeah, 65.8. Cool. We talked about the diet. We talked about some fight camp. You know, how you handle that, and for that. When it comes to supplements, for example, because this is a question I like to ask every athlete, not only fighters. Because especially, for example, you know, the episode I did with Jay Cutler, I asked him. He's like the former Mr. Olympia.
Yeah.
For many times. I mean, and how do you? He has his own supplement brand. But I asked him, if you could choose 3 supplements, you can take in nothing else.
Yep.
You choose 3. What would you choose? And I will ask you the same.
So if I'm honest, I've never ever been a supplement sort of person. I've never trusted anything, or I've always been that type of way. Like black coffee is what I take straight.
Oh yeah,
that's me.
Okay.
But now, you know, my nutritionist has told me I need to take whey protein. I'll choose whey protein, creatine, and omega-3s.
Yeah.
And that'll be my 3.
Yeah, it's you know, that was the one thing Jay Cutler said as well. He said, as a fighter, you need to start with the creatine because it's so good for the body. Not only because in my mind, you know, growing up, everyone was just creatine. It's only for bodybuilders. Blah 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 blah. You get bloated. You need to drink
the water
500 liters of water a day. Blah blah blah. But no, creatine. He also said, and I've never actually the thing that I do, I just do amino acids and like these vitamins and magnesium and these type of things. So I will also actually I will try this year to be more consistent with the supplements that really I think can benefit the martial arts training. Okay, man. I just I mean, it's been a pleasure talking to you, and
Thank you for having
I'm
me.
so grateful that you took the time to jump on
No
here.
problem, anytime.
You have a seminar later tonight. I will probably show up to that.
Amazing.
So I guess we say thank you to the audience.
Thank you very much.
Jonathan, for being here. And I, Samuel Ericsson, your host, I'll say thank you, and I'll see you next time on Combat Corner. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.